This is episode 79. Today we're answering some of the common legal questions that I often get, and I'm pretty sure other lawyers probably get as well. So we're answering those questions today. What's up, guys? Thank you for tuning in. I've been practicing law for quite a few years now, and throughout my time as a lawyer, I get a lot of routine questions. That was one of the main reasons I created Global Law Media, is to at least answer some of these questions that I get through video form. I know a lot of individuals may not want to read, so I want to do it in video form because I understand the statistics and the trends of how people are going to be receiving their information. But anyway, Global Law Media, I can officially say, is a full-blown media company now. Go to the website, globallaw.tv. I'm pretty proud of it, and we're going to keep growing and growing and growing and growing, and truly make it truly global, not just U.S. I talk about a lot of global issues, but we're going to make this really global. Count me in. And I hope I can count you in as well. But anyway, some of the common legal questions I get. The first one I would get is how to start a company. Now, that may be the first video I ever did years ago. So if you've been watching my videos, which I hope you have, and I'm thankful for those who haven't watched my videos consistently, you are pretty well versed into how to start a company, at least from the U.S. side. So first thing you want to do is general information. Or just generally, you start your LLC. How do you start an LLC? Well, you go to your Secretary of State's website, and then you can create an LLC from there. Most of it is pretty, I guess, straightforward. For example, if you are in Ohio Secretary of State's office, Georgia Secretary of State's office, Philadelphia, the Pennsylvania Secretary of State's office, and you can create your LLC, a company there from their website. And once you have that, you need to make certain that you can the tax aspect of it, because taxes are not going anywhere. Two things in life that are guaranteed: death and taxes. So you have to have the tax aspect of it, because when you create a company, I like to say this a lot. When you create a company, it's almost like creating a person. Every person in the U.S. has a birth certificate, and they have Social Security number. The birth certificate is like the LLC. That's the Articles of Incorporation. The Social Security number is like the EIN number. That's a tax ID number. So once you have those two documents, everybody in the U.S., everybody born in the U.S. Have that. The U.S. is like citizenship by location. If you are a tourist and you have a baby in the U.S., that baby is an American citizen. Boom. That's just how the U.S. is. By blood and by location, which is not how a lot of other countries. A lot of countries are not by location. So now you have a company that's been created. You have a company that's born. And with those two documents, you can typically go to a bank and open up a business bank account. And now you have created something, in essence, that's separate from you. A lot of times they'll do business, and just give you the money and I'll give you the service. But if you want to do it more officially, from a legal standpoint, you want to create you an actual company from you. Because once you do that, there's a lot of benefits from that. A company has what they call personhood. They can do many things that a person can do, but it limits your liability. If something bad happens to your company, they can only sue your company. They can't sue you personally. They can only sue you with what your company has in the LLC. So that's very important. You also want to have an operating agreement. It'll dictate how the company is going to be operated, how the company is going to be run. You typically want to have that as well. And then every year you file your taxes. You have your tax schedules. If you are single member LLC, if it's you that create your LLC, you have a Schedule C. Schedule C dictates all the costs, breaks it all down. But if it's more than one member that's a part of your LLC, because when you talk about LLC, you have to remember the word member. No such thing as that you own shares in the LLC. You own shares in a C corporation. We're going to talk about that very shortly. But you have multiple members. When it comes to taxes, you'll fill out your Schedule E and Schedule K1. Those are what you do, because from a multi-member LLC, for tax purposes, you are considered a partner. It's very important. Not a partner from a legal perspective, but from a tax perspective, you're considered a partner. It's critical to understand that. IRS is going to tax you as a partner because LLC is pass-through taxation. The income passes through to the owners of the company, and if it's two of y'all, technically considered partners. But if you're just a single member LLC, it's what they call, for tax purposes, a disregarded entity. You disregard it. It's just the tax purposes, they tax it on you. So you yourself will put all that tax information on your Schedule 1040, and then you'll fill out a Schedule C if it's just one person. But if it's more than you all, as I mentioned, Schedule E, Schedule K1. So you have that, and that's a pretty good, solid opening and what is this, roughly like less than 5 minutes about how to start a company. That pretty much saved you literally thousands upon thousands of dollars of legal fees. So I want to give that to you. Another question I get is, what is the best legal entity to start? What is the best legal entity to use when you start your company? I get this question quite frequently. Oftentimes people think the LLC is the best legal entity to start your company. Probably not. It depends on what you're trying to do. If you're doing mom and pop, you want to own a convenience store, you want to start your own fashion line, start your own record company, LLC is a really good entity for you. But if you want to do more traditional methods, like you want to raise venture capital, you want to put your company on the stock market, you want to create something big, LLC is not the legal entity for you. You want to create what they call a C corporation. C corporation is typically, when you hear the word corporation, they're primarily talking about the C corporation. And that is the idea, it gives you a lot more benefits than an LLC does. LLC, everyone's considered the same. We're all members. But with a C corporation, they can give tiers. You have preferred entry, you have preferred shares. This is what stocks are in the C corporation, standard corporation. You can have non-voting shareholders. You can have some voting shareholders. You can get very creative with that. Preferred shares. Some people get paid before the others get paid. You get very creative when it comes to a C corporation. But you can't be that creative. You cannot be that creative when it comes to an LLC. But the added benefit for LLC is that you only get taxed once. It's passed through. You only get taxed when you file your own taxes as a person. But with a C corporation, you get taxed twice. You get taxed twice, double taxation. So that's ideally what it is. When the dividends and the companies annually, but it's more flexible as far as the ownership perspective. He also has the S corp. S corp is good because you don't have to pay self-employment taxes every single year. S corp is good for that. But the negative of S corp is that only American citizens can own an S corp. Also, you only have up to 100 shareholders. So if you want to take a company and put it on the stock market, this is not the legal entity to use. It'll be a negative. It'll be to your downfall. There are many things you can do. You also can have different types of trusts. You can have a real estate investment trust. Corporation, you want to do it in Delaware. A REIT, what they call it, real estate investment trust, you want to do it in Maryland. The laws in Maryland are very good for real estate investment trusts. That's something to understand as well. So that's another common question I get. What else do I get? Wills and trusts. I created a whole wills and trust bundle. $35. $35. You get a will. You can also get some other tax document. Go to globallaw.tv and you see the tax document for $35. You get a will, the power of attorney, financial power of attorney for your health care. $35. I mean, you really can't get much better than that. But in essence, everyone talks about a will. They also talk about trust. Which one is better for you? They both have advantages. The will, pretty straightforward. But the negative of the will, which is a negative depending on what you say, depending on how you feel about it, is that the will can be, when a person dies, the will has to get probated. And when it goes to a court system, the entire court system in America is public records. Everyone can come and see it. So if a person believes they have an interest in your will, they can go to the courthouse and see what's in your will. It can be shown, it can be seen for the public to be seen. So if you don't want everyone in your business, you don't want everyone into your information, do a trust. A trust is private. A trust can be a little bit more expensive to create from a lawyer standpoint, but I have an entire document, a sample trust for a single person and a married person. I have that on the website as well. You can purchase that as well. I also have free contracts on my website, so check out my free contracts as well. So there's a lot of benefit, and everyone needs a will. Even if you're rich, even if you don't really have anything, all you have is the furniture in your house, or all you have is the clothes on your back. You can create a will to what happens to your clothes. I mean, what happens? Are they going to get thrown in the trash, or do these clothes have some type of sentimental value to you? I mean, whatever. It can be a military outfit, or you're a veteran, or it can be some type of like jewelry. What happens to that jewelry? What happens to your furniture in your house? What happens to your house? These things need to be talked about in your will. What else? Another thing I get asked about nonprofits. I get asked about nonprofits a lot. And I talk about nonprofits. I think nonprofits are great. It's an institution, ideally, for public charity, ideally for the upliftment of society, and we need nonprofits. You look around the world, you see problems everywhere, and a nonprofit is ideally suited to help solve a lot of these problems, because it's an institution that can be created for solving these problems. I talk about it a lot. You need tax form 1023. You need a nonprofit corporation, similar to the LLC. Go to the Secretary of State's office in that local jurisdiction, wherever you want to do it, and you do your nonprofit. You also want to get you some board of directors. I mean, you also want to you don't just want to get people that you know, unless these are like some really exceptional people. You also just want to just get some of the best and brightest people you can possibly find to be a part of your nonprofit, be directors on your nonprofit, because, man, I mean, business as a whole is a team sport. It's not meant for one person. I mean, you have a higher chance of being successful if it's 4 or 5 of you all that are smart versus if it's just one person who's doing everything. I mean, it's just how it is. If one person's doing everything, I mean, everything's not gonna be done at a high level because it's just how it is. So it's best to have quality people, and you can just find them on LinkedIn. You know, see a lot of that. So, but that's some of the general questions I normally get. I'll be doing this, I guess, maybe once a month or once every quarter, talking about some of the common questions I get. And if you have questions, just let me know, and I'll answer those for you. But this has been episode 79. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And what we did today, we answered some of the common questions: starting a business, best legal entity, nonprofits, things such as that. So hope y'all enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks.